Are you talking about the kill? I think you still get the kill, but you get with how the crown works, you can still stomp it away.
Well, no, but do you need to? Does the wisp need to be your kill for it to shave off a minute if you stomp a wisp?
Nope. Any random wisp.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was just making sure. Okay, appreciate you both. Thank you, Stu. You're
while
amazing.
we wait for the
Brilliant.
game to start, I'm going to pee really quick. So, yeah. Oh, I had a feeling that was going to happen, so I'm going to just do this and this. We'll swap it, so I'll let people be able to see, but I'm going to go pee really quick. I'll be right back.
You do you. I got this. I'm your Huckleberry. I should have made another coffee while we were waiting. But chat, we are getting underway. There's a 3-minute delay now just for integrity purposes, or to not tempt people's integrity, if you would, as our storm shift is going to be cross-country storm, which I know is pretty popular amongst the higher level players because it really forces your macro play at the end and to consider your movement options. What are we going to do? How are we going to navigate around this? And do we want to be first in the circle, last in the circle? It just adds more depth to an already deep game. And I'm so excited to see how these 12 teams navigate when we do get in towards that end game. Kazaro calling out for some strike gameplay. Not everybody's built like you, Kazaro. I'm just saying. But I love you. I wish I was. Getting into it. Let's see. Orlando's hopefully able to solve the tech issues that haunted them, but Bao able to get, I think it was 3rd place in spite of only having 2 members for a bulk of the game, and they secured a lot of KP along the way is actually pretty crazy. Now looking for where the plane is going to drop us in. It looks like it's going to be a northeastern drop. We do have 3 teams going up for the soul of the hunt, the Meteor Soul. And we're going to see who's going to be able to get it as that. It is heavily contested. You can tell I'm out of practice. I'm stuttering over my own words here. We have Bao and MST fighting it along with Hat, handsome and talented, looking to make a name for themselves here with this. MST already level 3, but so is Bao. MST able to find a gold key, open up the vault, and it looks like they're going to grab the vault and flee to get some more farm going their way. As in comes Rue, we have 4 teams on this northern portion, and Orlando's getting that experience from opening the chest, and it is going to be enough. Now we are seeing Rue quickly try to push and get that soul. It's already down to 75%. They should be able to get it relatively uncontested if they're quick, as it looks like their 3rd member is just kind of edge guarding and playing keep away. Going to be able to come back now. Calsco going to get it, and here comes Orlando's hoping to get a steal, but dashes on the wrong side, or maybe they were just looking. But now it's 5s and 6s for Rue, and Orlando's a wee lonely level 4 is going to make a break for it. But I don't know if there's enough dashes on the side of Rue to make that play. Looking out, MST. It's actually traveled quite a bit. They're actually going to run into Rat, who's had more time to farm up. We're going to see if Rat gives this up. No, but the hook comes in from Rebel. The quick follow-in from Adamark. Adamark with a good shield bash right there to build some distance. Not much damage done, but it's enough to say, back off slowly.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just really had to use the bathroom.
It's all good, buddy.
All right.
It's all good.
So,
you missed some action up in the north.
So who did any team get eliminated or not yet? It doesn't look like
no, but there were 4 teams all fighting over where that soul was. Rue ended up being the victors and the sole owners of all that real estate, as everybody else, some teams ran in, grabbed the vault, and got out, and everybody realized like there were no kills, but there was a lot of action going on that made them have to escape.
Rue are definitely kind of my big surprises of the tournament so far. We've seen these players before, and they've always played well, but they never really won any of these tournaments. So to see them come into this one and be such a strong team right out of the gates and continue to play their style. They're still playing with Fate Strikes on Void, one of those few players that's been so consistent on playing their one hunter. I always love those players that, regardless if some people think they're good or bad, they're true to their nature, they're true to who they like to play. And seeing them dominate, but right there, good dunk from Greed on a Melkani.
Oh, you love to see it. And going back to what you were saying, Fate Strikes is one of those players that I've just always felt was due. Like, he's been in the game for so long and an active member of the community, just been overdue for it. And Kuba narrowly dodging the dunk in the CC. The quick turnaround coming from Rebel. Rebel missing the hook, though, and having to make a dash away. This Ghost trying to get a snipe.
Oh, wait,
and it's
Calcinator!
just not enough.
Oh, and then Calcinator coming in from the high ropes with the Sky Shark was enough for MTV to not chase any further because they didn't want to get crashed over the abyss. And then easy pickings for Mist to be able to pick up some of those kills as we see now our other teams moving around. We're dragged all the way up towards the north, towards Frag Isle and Dawn Caps with this one. And as you talked about before, that is where our golds were, that's where our drops were. We're in the Dawn Caps.
And it looks like Hachi able to secure a single gold, probably off one of the creep drops I didn't quite see because we haven't had our eyes on Shy much this game. Level 7s on 2 of the members, though, against 3 level 7s of MTV. Let's see if they can get their own video award right here by eliminating Shy. No, it will be Shy that's just going to or make a rotation because they're losing a lot of tempo here.
Losing tempo and looking at our teams that are moving around, getting themselves in a better position around the circle. And with Magebox still heavily a part of our circle is going to make things really difficult for some of our less mobile teams to get through. As right there, trying to go for those chains to land on Arubaru. Well done from them to be able to escape what could have been possible danger up against Boo. Even if Boo are behind on golds, you never want to play too greedily against something like a Hudson, especially when you don't have firm control over the Abyss.
And I do like seeing some of these hunters that they require a team around them. Hudson on his own is not that strong, especially in this high level. And what a hook once again, but the immediate follow-up, the turnaround, Revel, oh my God, you didn't have a chance to breathe there as Rat immediately stacking the CC.
Nice.
And the very rare Mech missing a hook, but I'll say it's just a good feat from MST.
So close on that one, where they almost had another godlike pull from Mech, but Rat really showing their prowess with these hunters. Having very little range, but it does not matter to them because they know how to play so perfectly with them. But Shy, a team that we are always hyped to see here, especially with Tom Kick, have been a little bit silent in the games today, but here, they're in a big fight. Already portal away, Dudzer cannot escape, and then you even have Tom Kick looking for those pulls onto the other players of MTV. Trepa attempting that respawn on to the Wisp, but with the sun placed down, and now Breeves getting back into Magebog, maybe helping out with the Volcanic Crusher. Sprokane got melted by Breeves, and now Trepa has renewed confidence, but Hachi stepping up with these rockets, pelting Trepa. Now it's Breeves, the last one left. They could save the life of Sprokane or look for the kill. They can't do both, not now the battle are here. They already lose Sprokane, and with that anomaly, Shy are on the run. Orlando's says, you ain't getting away too easily, Hachi. Only Tom Kick is left.
Oh, tragic empowered shots that came out from Orlando's right there, right as Sprokane was about to be lifted. And GG to GG as Hat, Handsome and Talented, I know it's probably not their name, eliminates them. And now it's actually AT that's caught in this just scrap of a fight, or amongst Hat.
Nicely done from Hat, though, getting those kills and separating AT, but unfortunately for them, it has called the Hordes, and Mist are here with that snipe on a Melkani, ran to the next target, or Captheus, but both are on broken land. Now Gur, they too have been called in, but they look for Mist instead, not even realizing that Hat have been able to escape right through their clutches.
And I always call that the blessing of the third party. Sometimes when you're in a bad spot, a magical third party will be that good enough distraction for you to get out. And that's what Hat needed, as they were in a very extended fight. They were battered, bruised, and beaten, broken, damned, but they were able to escape thanks to that third party. And now Rav just getting pelted again by Orlando's. Orlando's just doesn't miss with these shots. He has 4 in the chamber, and 4 of them are going to hit, as now we do have a Bebo on the battlefield.
Rav now in a bad spot. Broken shield, broken armors, and broken life as they fall at the same time at Hat right before them. So get a little bit lucky. But Bao eliminating them with the help of AT, the Abyss Trinity. Both teams are outside of the storm, outside of the circle for now, but they aren't in the storm just yet. They can easily move in, but looking at our teams, there's still a lot of teams left.
MST able to get the death box res right there. Revel just missing that hook onto, I think it was Godfrey right there. But I like this from Gur that they're rotating around and now they're edge guarding where the circle's going to go. I don't know if they realize that there's a team to the north and a team to the east with Shy back on their feet. So maybe Gur didn't have the best position like I thought. What a hook from Thomas Kickington.
And nicely done from Shy, picking up a nice kill on Gur. So Wixen gone for Gur left, but missed. They have intervened again on behalf of other teams. This time it was on behalf of Gur. They were staring down Shy, but back in the very tips of the Dawn Caps. Rue chase off Boo from the respawn beacon. They haven't, oh no, they haven't been able to escape because Shy, they too were migrating up north and they find a nice pick on a Flakes. But Rue, now we see that Shy are there. Could go for the fight while we see that Boo have one left. Gur losing on the kill feed. Only Godfroy survives for the team, and that respawn beacon could be their way back into the game, but Rue are defending that the best they can, not letting any team have an easy path back into the game. Not you, Godfroy, not anybody. Chasing Gur away from potential hope.
I love this, and we did see Rat is alone on the east side getting, or they were able to secure a soul on their own, and it looks like they're going to try to steal this Abyssal Hatchling from Boo, pushes him off, and beautiful, again, use of that nuke, and I like that hook just to try and secure it, but I don't think they realize that Shy is right there, who can do the exact same thing, and now, all of a sudden, these teams are still here. It was secured by Rat, and look at how many red perks are on Mechie Mech. I see 4, maybe 5.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Rat, they have been collecting a lot of these kills and collecting a lot of these perks like they are Infinity Stones. Looking about to snap all the teams here on the breach, but Shy, they join in. They found a pick on a miss, getting a lot of damage on a Revel, but not the snipe that was needed to kill him. That's why they have to blast off to make sure they secure that kill on a Revel. But Boo, they had it round 2, but can they get a round 3? Well, missed. They are going to respawn off the respawn beacon right behind them, bringing back Revel into the fight.
So Tom Kick being on KP and seeing all these KPs reminds me of something that Aiden said a while back, where it's Kingpin and Oath. It depends. Do you want to go for kills? You get KP. Do you want to go for placement? You get Oath. And it looks like Shy has chosen kills via the snipe and KP Tom Kick, as we've seen. And I like it because they're not eliminating teams, but they're getting kills, they're getting picks, they're adding the points with that, and that's going to be the war of attrition that they'll win because of it, as Hatchie ends up getting a kill on Revel again right as they spawn, and now it's Rat with all this strength that's pushing around and bullying Bao.
And for our teams, because these are qualifiers, they are playing for top 6. They don't have to win, but every point matters. We saw how close it could get. TSM narrowly missing getting into our Saturday night Supervive, and they only missed it by 5 points. Just imagine a couple more kills here and there would have been enough, and you can see here that it is on the mind of some of these teams. Seeing what had happened to TSM as they are looking for a lot of these kills themselves, finding Flakes here, a nice pickup and elimination for Miss 200.
Boo actually has been doing surprisingly well. They had a rough first game, but everything else, like that 8th, I'm going to give them credit for being a newer team. And now check this out. MST has to worry with the strength of Rat. They hit like trucks even on their softest hitter, but MST is not relenting. No armor on Revel, and he still is going in, but now we have the Grabby the Squid.
And with Cookies taking too much damage immediately, it's going to be the fight on top of him. They've gotten Tetra, but they have the Wisp picked up by Rat, but they have to fight back, especially now that Bao have decided to intervene. They got rid of Cookies. They can topple that Wisp with the blast off on to Mechie Mech. Rat, it's so early, and they are eliminated at 7th place. Miss 200 with the help of Bao take out the Rat-tat-tat.
Okay, I almost typed in chat. I forgot about the 3-minute delay, so I'll just say here, I am so sorry, Rat. That's 2 games in a row. I'm just going to stop talking because every time I say Rat looks good, they get eliminated. I am sorry to all of the Rat fans out there. And now look at this congestion down here. 3 teams where the circle's going to go. And it looks like our hot pink team, I want to say that was Bao, is getting the day 4 boss, which I didn't quite see what it was, but they should be able to get it all, yeah, uncontested. Oh, it's a soul, never mind. Soul that wasn't quite claimed yet, but they should get that uncontested. And Rat, that has to be devastating because they were the Thanos of this lobby. They were looking unbeatable.
And now Bao picking up some amazing prizes afterwards. But here on Cross Country Storm, our teams are going to be dragged pretty far in this one. And we see that Rue are attempting a cheeky play there with the swap fan combo. But they are still running with the Storm. Actually, they're already in the circle. But looking at teams that are outside of that, Abyss Trinity, Gur, Bao, quickly having to move with the Storm. Miss 200. Shy and Rue already in a good position.
Now I like this. This is something I talked about at the very start. It's the conversation that happens with these teams is, do we want to be first in the circle? Do we want to be last in the circle? It looks like At and Gur decided to be last in, and they met up with Rue, who chose Edgeguard the circle, as Gur is hurting.
This is not looking good for them. Wixen's gone, and now the French team, are they going to help out their brethren, or are they going to beat them? They decide to beat up little brother, getting rid of Gur, and then staring down Rue. Abyssal Breaker onto Face Sharks, pushing him back into the Storm, but he's got Hover Wings, snipe out of the air. Ash got rid of Face Sharks as they're trying to get the Wisp back into the fight, doing their best to try to bring back up the Void, but that means that you put yourself at danger. Only Fuzu managed to escape.
I love that cutoff punch from Ash on the escaping Oath right there. Right as he thought, he had a little bit of hope he might escape, punched into the wall. No escape for you. It will be the Orbs of Life going to Bao. We're already looking pretty strong this match. We've seen Orlando's making a lot of plays, and now they'll have that second and possibly third shot at victory or at life. But now they have to make their way south, and look at this. We have our pink team, MST, blocking their path.
I'm looking at where you can go. Right now we see Rue. It is Shies who find Fuzu fighting over the Abyss. Hachi gets back to land. Fuzu stays in the jet stream. Has that island still to work with. Can reset their glider heap. But it's going to be taking some time before they can actually get into a better position.
Oh, and interesting. I wonder if MST decided just to back up. They did have the edge guard, but maybe they were worried they couldn't keep up with the Storm's pace, especially being in the water. Or they just said, hey, let's just go be first into the next circle. Looks like it is going to be that, as their ghost is already there. And so we have Shy and MST on the edge guard. Fuzu desperately trying to figure out a way to come back. I like that B-bomb there, just as some batting practice to see if they could snipe something. And the crown has been picked up.
Crown has been picked up. Their position has been spotted by scan grenades of Bao. Not a good spot for Fuzu, as they're still getting chased by all of this vision that has been locked down by Bao. The Mage Bog, it keeps you in its place for a long time. It is hard to get out of this one. And then another scan grenade. Oh, poor Fuzu. Constantly on vision of some team. But thankfully for them, that scan grenade, it was Mists. And Mist is more focused on AT, so they don't even realize that Fuzu has snaked their way down past them. But with the crown, they better know that they're by these barrels. I saw what Orlando's was attempting there.
It was a good effort. I really, really like it. I love this rotation that we've seen from Fuzu. Now, if you want to attack him, you do have to risk some Abyss. And looks like they want to attack him. They were going to risk it. 30 seconds remaining.
Fuzu blasting away, has the salvo. Are you going to launch it? Just waiting, biding their time. 25 seconds, healing up, has the rings, it gets the distance away. Was hoping for any flux there to land, but now you've gotten through one team, now you have to deal with this other one. The Shy have already blasted off, and they remove Rue. Can I get a top 2 finish this time around? It's top 5, as we are left with 4 teams to win.
Oh, Hachi's Bishop, that's so much harder to hit than he made it look, but he just makes it look so easy, getting the blast off the punch and the empowered rocket to follow up. And now it's Bao against MST. It looks like Rebel might have some scuba gear, doesn't quite get the hook.
Ash
and Bao is able to escape,
avoiding that pull. Missed back for round 2, though. They are sneaky with that amphibian, getting some damage onto Baroof, but Baroof, the tank, you remember, not the one that's going to fall too easily. Kuba instead going to take a lot of that damage and sniped out of the air. Mist left with 2. Kalskinator and Revel not nearby one another, but Shy fight against AT on the tracks, on the land, but they're so low. Tom kicked the first one to fall. Crystal gonna be the second. It's only Sprocade. Sorrows against the world, putting down the sun. He's ionized. He's got the snipe if he needs to, but it's gonna be Revel instead for Mist. Showing up from the high ropes. RTK to take out Moak, leaving Crystal in the storm, taking too much damage, putting down the E-plat, but Rip, the Bebo getting away. They're hopping towards the B-bomb, but it's Brocane I've got my eyes on. The last one left in the storm, and taking too much damage is ionized again. You've got to get back into land, but it's gonna be Crystal taken out with the portal. No! Brocane will fall.
And I love that, as you said, Rebel with an RTK from the top rope out of nowhere to shatter the dreams of MST. And now it's AT that's actually putting in work somehow in this final 3. They've eliminated so much, but it's only one lonely Bebo left. And will you be able to escape from Bao? Bao, who said there are no brothers on the battlefield, as they eliminate a French team, they eliminate AT, and now they look to eliminate MST. That surely, hopefully, they don't find a way to throw this.
Krabby goes right past them. There aren't any good positions for crowns yet, but there is going to be a crown soon, as Tsunami, thankfully, showing us right there. The Revel looking for these dunks. Overheating proof, not enough, though. Not enough damage. You needed to pick up the crown quickly. Blasted away and kept far from being able to find that, so Bao will take game 3.
Orlando's just played that entire game out of his freaking mind, and I especially like that last second keep away that we saw right there. It's like the crown, little pushback, says no, 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 shoots you over the abyss, nowhere to run, no movement. Orlando's, Bao, all of them, they played. Our French team just played that game immaculately from start to finish.
And so now we have our teams that are looking like they're most likely making it out. Bao with a nice win here. Gonna probably cement themselves getting out of qualifiers into our Saturday night Supervive. Them and Rue looking to top the tables, but I'm looking at other teams that possibly can. Miss 200, probably the other team that I think joins them at the top, as nearly guaranteed getting into day 2.
So yeah, let's see. Rat has performed consistently, so they have to feel, well, they should still be nervous because I think, no, wait, they got, what, 8th last game? So Rat has to be a little nervous. They might be on the bubble. Shy has to be nervous that they're on the bubble. Boo, I'd imagine, knows that they had a 3rd place, but that might not be enough. I want to say it was the 3rd. Man, it must be close right there from like 3rd through 8th or 9th. I genuinely can't figure out like who is where and doing what. We'll say 4th and up. So I'm excited. I'm going to step away for 2 seconds, brother.
You're fine.
Just to get some coffee and use the restroom. I love you, chat. Hit that follow.
All right, go get your coffee. We'll continue to talk about these games. We've got one more left. This game can be the make or break, like how we saw in game 4 for our last group. That we had 2 teams sneak their way through that we were not expecting. Apex Hunters winning the final game to make sure they go on to Saturday night Supervive, and Sus with a top 3 finish in that last game, narrowly edging out TSM by 5 points to guarantee they go into day 2. Looking at our other teams, there's a lot of possibilities. As I said, Bao, Mist, Rue. These teams nearly guaranteed for day 2. But outside of those, we could see another upset like we saw in Lobby A, where TSM not making it into the second day. Looking at our other teams that we expect great things from, the Shies. Having a difficult time so far. That last game, getting decent positioning, but not in the last few. Rats, I gotta say, they are a team that always has these pop-off performances, but they have gotten a bit unlucky. Game 1, we had the Kobayashi's finish where they were out in the storm and kind of in this chaos that ended up having them get eliminated a little bit earlier than they expected. Game 2, they got eliminated fairly early. Game 3 here, like the top 4 finish is good, but not a Rat standard. This is not what we are used to seeing from a Rat. But other teams that I kind of have my eyes on, Gur, going to be one of them. Playing very aggressive, but having a hard time so far. I'm looking at other teams. AT have gotten some pretty good finishes for themselves, so they could be a team to make it into day 2. I think some of our teams that are a little bit on the outskirts of that, and it would take a miracle Probably Boo, GG, two of these teams. They're playing their hearts out, but it is getting difficult for them right now. MTV, I think MTV, Rab, just above that of Boo and GG, where if they get a good finish in this one, they could still get their way into the top 6. It's just top 6 you have to get. Don't have to win, just need top 6 in the lobby if you want to make it to day 2. And then that's when you start performing, but we'll see. Our teams are going to approach this as we get ready for our final game of EU qualifiers. Final game for some of our teams for Saturday night Supervive. Yes, it's Friday night, but we got to qualify for the big prize pool finals that we have tomorrow. $2,500 on the line for both NA and EU. Here, we are starting with EU. Later in the day, I will be back casting more of the qualifiers. That one will be for NA to find out which teams move on to day 2 as well. But let's see what is going to be the 6 teams that join in our finals for EU as we load up onto the breach for game 4. I'm wondering if any teams, like we saw in the last one, WAF, they decided to ego a little bit knowing that they had secured their final spot, playing Nyx in game 4. Even getting some cool plays by Shichi with Bishop. Let's see how our teams will approach our final game of qualifiers, especially those that are on the outskirts.
So, I don't know if you had spoken about it, but I do want to point out Rat. It feels like every game has done everything correct.
Yep.
They were as strong could be last game. And then they just misstepped in the fight. The third party came on the scene, which you always have to worry about.
Yep.
And so that's got to be so disheartening for Rat. And I wonder what their mentality is right now of like, we know we can win this game. We are better than everybody else here. We could, like, as a mindset, they've set themselves up for success and they've just slightly misstepped. Or are they going to be deflated and say, I hate this? Hopefully it's the former, not the latter.
They've gotten very unlucky. This is something I was talking about, because if you think about each of their games, even game 1, where they were looking really strong, it was that weird Kobayashi's end circle.
Yes.
Where there was absolute chaos once the guards were all killed. And they finished, I think they finished like 6th place in that game because of all that chaos that transpired. And then in game 2, an 8th place finish. That last game, a top 4 is good, but that is not Rat. That is not what we are used to seeing from this team. And so for our final game, it could be on the line for them. If they have an early exit, they might not make it to day 2.
As Starblade said in chat, fear the Rats. I think Rats are going to play this one very well, probably very aggressive. But we notice that they also know when to take a step back and worry about the farm. And speaking of worrying, Kuba, what a pull!
What a pull from Revel on to Kuba. For Kuba to alley-oop that one. MTV about to be canceled. It's only Dudzers left, but Gur, aggressive as always, fighting against Mist, despite the fact that it was the fight from Mist that got them the leads in the first place. But Gur have already hit their 6s with a pull from Revel, trying to drag him back. They burst through the armor of Godfroid, and now the slippery member is gone. Aggressive and Wixen trying to escape, but that wall has not collapsed just yet. Nice for deck charm, but it dragged him towards Aggressive, who's taking a little bit too much damage. Aggressive, this is not looking good for the team. It's only Wixen who's able to get away because a nice arcane railgun has taken him down. Calcinator now hunting down the remnants of the French team.
Freaking Revel, you want to see me do a hook dunk over the abyss? Yeah. You want to see me do it again? Yeah. Like, great job, Revel, setting up the same bread and butter play and executing it flawlessly on 2 separate teams. Great KP, great positioning in MST. A little behind, and Gur, a lot behind as Gur is eliminated, and surely that is their hopes of making it to tomorrow.
I mean, it's going to come down to the wire for them. They've had good placements in some of these games where they've been able to hold on to top 4, I think in games 1 and 2. But last game, an early exit. This one, the earliest exit, the first team eliminated in our last game. Rue, they too, though, are in a bad spot. A nice dunk as Calcio was able to take him down, but crashing back with the Sky Shark. They're doing their best to try to fight back against Bao, but they've lost the golden armors. Calcio throwing hammer after hammer at them. And Phase Strikes grabbing them. Oh, no, he's gone too. It's only Fuzu left.
Oh, at least Fuzu was able to get out to where, I don't know, because I thought that was the end of them. For a moment, I like the effort from Fade Strikes. What a punch, Ash!
Wow, but Shichi didn't want to relent. Thankfully for Ash, that Sky Shark has enough juice left in the tank to get them down towards Mage Bog. There are plenty of respawn beacons left for the team. But yeah, I thought Rue was out of this one as well, and I was going to say, for them, they've at least locked in finals for sure. Even if they get eliminated 11th place, a win, second place, a top 4 the last few games, they have well earned their spot into the finals.
Yeah, what I was talking about, like, we know the top 2, top 3. Rue was on that list for me. They have just played out of their minds, and I'm so happy to see. Like, again, they're all playing great, but I'm such a big Fate Strikes fan that I can't help but break the commentator, like, rule and say, I am so happy for you, Fate Strikes. You're playing great. Let's get one more win in the books for you, or at least let's play this last game out of your mind.
Personally, I don't think you're breaking any rules. I'm big fans of every one of these players. I love seeing them succeed. It's tragedy when they lose for any one of them. So it's like seeing how they're able to play, and for a team like Rue to see them play so well today. It's amazing to see the growth of this team. But we still have 11 teams left, 10 alongside that of Rue. There's plenty of fighting to do, as right now it is GG with a crusher back from Greed, but they have been crushed under the weight of Rat.
Yo, Cookies dropped that ulti wall, and the other Tetra had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You see her desperately trying to jump over to figure something out, but no, that was the perfect placement for that trap, as they were able to finish their food there. GG, GG. And it looks like Orange Team and Pink Team up top. It is Rab versus Rue in the north. Rue able to get back on their feet, and it looks like Orange will be able to escape. But good job for Rue for getting it all back together.
I wonder how much of it is Rab actually looking to escape, or if they're just looking for these meteor beasts that are crash landing right now. Both of them right next to each other in the hollows. Only Rat alongside Rab. Rue nearby. We even see that Hat could possibly try to steal away some of these perks, but Rab going to be the first ones on the call.
I like that we're seeing Rat do some action. They are still in the midst of everything, just trying to make their presence known. And look at this, one of the early hatchlings not picked up, and now it'll go by way of Rab, who, again, we just saw in another fight, but running away, back on their feet, not with the best of armor, and not with the best of times for At, as Hat is diving onto At. You can't spell Hat without At, and you can't spell At without, ooh, painful times. I had somewhere I was going with that, and I lost it.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure you can spell At without painful times. I don't think there's that much correlation there besides the A.
I had a thought and I lost it in that brief moment as I made my way up to just see all the work Raz putting in. And what a punch from Ash, but the quick turnaround from Breeze, but no armor right now.
MTV, they're getting sandwiched because Rat, they've been waiting for the time to strike, and now they have already separated MTV, but they're looking for Bao. They'd rather feast upon the buns that Bao bring, but only get Baroof. Baroof should be able to get resurrected until Greed, trying to Greed for the play, wants to secure the kill onto Baroof. Nuke has been launched, separating the fight, but Greed, the green play, Breeds the green play to take down the kill, has put MTV out, and now Hat, as they try to get into the hollows against that of Rat, they've already lost Milconi, and they're losing more as Rancher getting chased over the abyss, leaving Cathius left in the hollows, trying to blink forward. One gone, two gone, no way, Cathius already getting 2 kills, trying to push him back. Rancher has been pushing back with him, but Adamark is back in the fight. They've already put up the wall, and that's going to be the Volcanic Crusher, even though Cathius had a heroic play. They couldn't capitalize on it. Rancher only watches their own defeat as they fall to Rat.
The Rat in the hat, and that was all because Rat was able to get the team kill onto Breves and got the full resets, so they had buttons to press, and oh, did they press them, and there was almost a miracle play, as you pointed out, and it was only because they were able to pick back up Adamark with a clutch play, and unfortunately the other member of Hat wasn't able to get the turnaround in time to come back and secure it, and that was a matter of a half-second difference at most, but victory goes to the way of Rat in that scuffle.
Big for Rat, too, because we were just talking about how they, even though they've gotten so many kills in these games, have to be a bit fearful with low placement throughout a lot of them, that they might not actually make it into day 2. So collecting even more kills, trying to make sure they book their ticket into Saturday night so they can face off for the prize pool. But right now, Rue, one of our top dogs in the lobby, getting a sandwich between 3 teams. Boo, surprisingly sneaking their way through the Mage Bog. It's Rue trying to escape from Boo and from Bao. They actually are going to be able to sneak their way right past Boo, who are trying to be very sneaky, living up to their ghosty name.
I really like this. So Boo, nervous, justifiably, but look how much, again, I forget the name, scuba gear that has been bought over there. Almost every team has it, so everybody's stealthed around everybody else. And now MSD, the hook goes to Mech.
Revel missing their hook, Mech not, and getting a free kill on a Revel. Now MSD, even if they are guaranteed a spot in the finals, they would like to make sure they look dominant when doing so. And now they have to hop aboard the train in order to get a quick respawn. Should have plenty of time. It's not bullet train, so they should be able to get that respawn quickly and get back into the map.
And going back to what I was saying, with Final Destination being on water, I do appreciate how many teams realize that there's a perk that is worth its weight in gold right now. So you get the speed in the water, you get the stealth, and you get all the chances. And Bromance getting hit with a bat in the back of the head.
Salvage hook, trying to pull him back in. Grabby squid from Rift. There's a lot of damage. Winning is for losers. Putting some damage on Warwick. That salvo just a lot stronger. Grabby squid not going to follow up on a Rift. Instead, it's going to be AT following up these kills on a Boo. Romance now hoping to live longer for the team. But Crystal has noticed where the Zeph is. Hops onto a Sky Shark, and with a free crash back, even though you're overheating, you've been just pushed into the storm. It wasn't enough to actually pick up the kill, but Justice Punch onto Romance, enough damage, and the storm right at their backs, going through the jet stream, but that stray rocket from Crystal eliminates Boo.
It looked like they got spiked and they were magically teleported back up, but that was great. They started off the fight with Bromance, they ended the fight eliminating B-Romance. And very sad, but Boo played great overall. I'm very happy for them.
Me too.
Thank you guys for subbing in. As we have Shy now. Shy needing to make something happen, and they're picking a fight against Rue.
They don't care right now. They need those points, similar to Rat. Getting placement, getting kills. These are all too important for these teams if they want to make sure they get into Saturday Night Supervive. Right now, Mist are giving chase on it to Rat, but they're trying to see if they can set up a play utilizing Mech and Adamark, but I don't see their teammate. I don't see Cookies nearby, so they could be down a Tetra, which means that Rat put on the back foot.
Oh, and that's not where you want to be right now if you're Rat, the common sense statement, but Rat needs to make something happen, but they're at least able to escape. They dodged a lot of the skill shots right there to make those moves. So Rat, again, oh no, looks like their Tetra is up. They just got the respawn beacon. Yeah. So that's really good for them, all because they have the hands, they have the dodge, duck, dip, dive, and Rab able to dodge the singularity, dodging 2 ults back-to-back, and now it's the turnaround from Rab.
Numa looking for a lot of damage onto Rue, but Rue, even if they miss their singularity, they're able to kite back successfully through the Mage Bog. As you talked about, a lot of amphibians, a lot of... Now, they were once called Scuba Gear. What a kidnap!
The kidnap!
With the help of the fan onto Monado. He was so focused on what was ahead of him, he didn't realize what was behind him, and now missed. Trying to see if they can clean up Rab, but Rab, see that respawn beacon that had been placed down by Rat earlier, try to bring back up their French caster brethren.
Oh, I love that. Shades of Jay the Yggdrasil right there with the quick thinking kidnaps. And that, again, just comes from all your experience on Void and staying loyal to that hunter. And I like this now. We go back to the side of Revel, who knows that there's people invisible in this water. So let's just throw out a hook and see if we catch something while we're fishing.
But there's still so many teams left, and one of those teams that needs placement as well is Rab if they want to make it to day 2. 7 squads still left. They've lost one teammate already, and Rab on the back foot as we look at other teams that are on that back foot. AT, probably the other team that are really right outside of that 6th place finish that can guarantee them getting into Saturday night. They need to hope that Crystal can find a respawn or find a crown.
I like those money trees placing and just kind of letting them cook right next to their base camp. So for those who don't know, money trees grow over time, you accumulate more money if you just let them sit, and throwing them right next to your base camp is a good play. They have the vision, they know nobody's around, and they might need to make those late game purchases such as pots, armor repairs, things like that. So I really like that little bit of placement from Rue, who somehow still managed to just, despite being so aggressive, stay on the front foot.
AT brought back the team. Nuke has been launched at them, but Mowick getting past it, and that grabby squid B-bomb combo. Rift far away into the circle now, but that left Mowick and Crystal behind. Mowick's going to be the first target, but Bao, they launch forward with a beautiful punch onto Crystal, but now Rift there to protect. But the storm damage onto them. Crystal is gone, having brought back the team to life. They've already lost out, and then Rab get found out by Shy. Oh, not by Shy, by Miss. And so now they're gone, but Rift not getting the B-bomb combo. AT2. They fall at 6th place.
Well, that was huge. I got a little confused. It said that it looked like At got eliminated, but it was just one of their members, so it threw me off. But yes, At ultimately goes down, and that's so big for these teams who, again, with the exception of probably Rue, they're wondering, are we in the top 6? We should be, but this is gotta feel good for them, and I'm trying to see where they are. I like this from MST, trying to keep Bao out of their territory, and this is where, as the circle starts pinching, people are just going to want to figure out, like, where do we claim? We claim this land in the name of France, we claim this land in the name of Shy, we claim this land in the name of Shy, and you've just intruded on our land.
Putting down the burst of the sun, and now a Tom kick out of nowhere! Miss, we're not expecting Thomas kicking 10 to kick them in the face! Miss have lost to Rebel, only Calskinator is left, and guess what? Bao have already played up that crown, not gonna help out Calskinator, not even with the Volcanic Rebuke, cannot get away. Bao helping out to eliminate Miss 200.
I love that from Tom, by the way, because Hachi and Sprokane, or they threw out so many attacks that for the briefest of moments, MST probably thought, oh, it's just 2 of them because Tom isn't here. And then Tom out of nowhere, Tom out of nowhere dives in on Rat, and Rat actually eliminates him. You got to check your brushes.
Thomas giveth and Thomas taketh away, as we have another hook from Meki Mek. This time it was on to Calcio. Rue, they've already guaranteed themselves into day 2, but Fate Strikes, the Lone Void, overheating over the Abyss, even with the jet stream right there. Swapping onto the E-Plat, and Rat, we're giving him a little bit of hope, and then he snatches that right back, swapping forward, but the Volcanic Crusher, not enough Tetraform has been placed. Where is going to be the damage? He's got the shield, but no more health as he burns to Hachi, launching forward at the Rat, who simultaneously pulled Bao into the fight as well, but with Cookies already gone, out of Mark Meki Mek trying to get out of this fight. Shies, they're fighting for everything. They're fighting for day 2. They want to make sure they make it into Saturday night Supervive, but they gotta be careful. This nuke has separated the fight. Hachi has still been locked in with Rat getting eliminated. Then Bao cleaning up these kills onto Shy. They get themselves 2nd place, but Bao, the French team, find another victory.
And yes, Bao got another victory. Bao played great, but that was the train that was Shy. Did anybody get the number on the side of that truck? Because all of a sudden they pressed the W key and they took out Fate Strikes and they said, cool, who's next? Cool, who's next? And they didn't care. We saw Tom dive on the other side of the nuke in a 1v3 just to secure the kill. Go back out. Now Hachi goes in right when the nuke is about to drop, secures the kill and stays in the fight, and ultimately got them caught out, but they went out kicking and screaming and feeding themselves a lot of kill points. Shy has to have cracked the top 6 with this, possibly even top 3. I don't know. That was quite a game from them.
So we are going to get our points added up. Azuna, absolute legend, has been adding up our points today, so I'm going to have a little bit of time while we wait for these points so that we can tell everyone who makes it into the finals, who will join the likes of WAF, SB, 3LP, APX, AUR, and SUS in the finals in our first ever Saturday night Supervive.
And I think one of the benefits for me now, because of the 3-minute delay, I'm able to watch, and right where you're at is when Tom Kick comes out of nowhere from behind the trees to start really devastating MST. And I just loved that play. And yes, Tom Kick got killed right afterwards, got picked back up though, as we saw. but just that giga brain play from Tom to just wait, just be patient. Hachi and Sprokane were safe and sound, and it allowed MST to overstep a little bit because they felt safe and they weren't. And now it goes right back into Tom. Oh, he actually threw a hook into that brush.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter.
But it was, he didn't have any way to get out of there. It's like he throws this hook.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's thinking is going to be there. And then all of a sudden, all of Rat jump out of there. And he's like, wait a minute. How do I get out of this?
Yeah, I don't know. I loved the play from Shy. I liked them hanging out on the outside there. And I'm also going to turn it towards Fate Strikes, who had some massive turnarounds, able to eliminate Adamark on Rat, which also really hurt Rat, and then kept the fight going. Ultimately fed another kill to Shy, but Fate Strikes played this 4-game series so damn well the entire time, just play after singularity play. And I need to mute up. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a phone call.
You are perfectly fine. We're waiting for the points to get added up now. Once we get the points added up, we will show them off on stream. This time around, I'm going to make sure to stick around, because last time I wanted to go spray the whistle to kind of make sure that it had the lacquer on it, but then that's right when the points got posted into the Discord. So hopefully we'll be able to get those quickly so we can see which teams are going to move on into the finals. Expecting to see Rue making it through pretty convincingly on that one. Miss 200, another team that I'm expecting to make it through. Bow, probably the other team that's guaranteed going into day 2. Then after that, it kind of gets murky, where we're expecting certain teams to make it through, like Rat, Shy, after pretty good performances there towards the end. But you never know. Grr, they were a team that I was heavily favoring making it out. First team eliminated in that final game could absolutely devastate their chances to make it on to day 2.
That was so fun. I'm so excited for these, and thank you for allowing me to step away there for just that half second. I really don't know who made it and who didn't outside of like a select few. You got to imagine Rat, Rue, and Shy all did good enough. They were like, despite some bad games, 3/4 of them, they were consistent enough, or at least we saw them in the kill feed putting in work. But I'm not sure about the other 3 spots. Like, this is exciting.
It is. It's really, really exciting to see how this is going to go. Because like we said in the last one, seeing a team like TSM not make it into the finals was huge. That's a big statement, because that's a team favored to win. And yet they don't make it into day 2 because they had a poor performance on the day. Sus and Apex played out of their minds, making sure they got their ticket into the finals. So we'll see how some of our other teams, where we had, I think, a very chaotic, very messy second lobby, where we had that first game, absolute pandemonium, Kobayashi's, get rid of the guards, full chaos afterwards fight, where any team could get eliminated. And we saw Rue come atop the pile in that one. But I don't know what other teams, like, for teams like Shy, for Rat, are these last 2 games enough to get them over that finish line into top 6?
I'm just picturing this like a marathon or a track meet where everybody is just sprinting to cross that ribbon. Who wants it the most? And that's the definition of what that game 4 was who wanted it the most. And we saw everybody play so well. We saw people caught out. I think it was Revel. It was Revel or Meki Mech. Sorry, I'm forgetting. Get caught out and somehow dodge like Neo in the Matrix every skill shot to go get that revive off because they wanted it that badly. That was a tooth and nail scrap fest. And so I'm like anxiously waiting. Where do they put the scores, by the way, in Discord? I don't want to wait.
So they posted in the Saturday Night Supervive one, and there's like an EU results one. But I don't know if you have access to that one yet.
I don't know. Okay, then I'm just going to wait like everybody else. Although they have a 3-minute delay, so.
Yeah. So we're we're waiting for Azuna, so I'll see if she has an ETA.
No worries.
Now we can see how close we are and try to get our points. And then, are you going to be around for NA later in the day, or do you have work?
I will not be.
Aw.
I'm gonna take care of some stuff today and
No
tomorrow,
problem.
unfortunately.
That is
so,
perfectly fine.
but this definitely was the fire lit underneath me to be like, oh god, I need to get back into casting.
Yeah.
I'm rusty. I miss it. I love Supervive.
Yeah.
Like I've been busy, but it's like, okay, I beat Silk Song. I can put that
Nice.
to the side or make it off stream. Well, I have more Silk Song to go through, but
okay.
it's fine. But I'm trying to say this without spoiling. I beat it enough for stream. Now I'm like, okay,
Gotcha.
back to Supervive. Here we go. But man, I've missed casting with you, hearing how much Kaya's leveled up, catching Zik any day of the week. Anytime I can like be at work and catch a little bit of an EU cast, I'm like, my God, everybody's so good. I miss this. I miss this so much.
Exactly. And we're going to have tons of Supervive. This is not going to be the only weekend. There's going to be a tournament every single Saturday from now until the end of Season 2. So make sure you are sticking around, because Theorycraft Games is where you'll be able to see a lot of these games. Qualifiers we'll probably just do on my channel, just so that way it's a little bit more of a calm, getting us used to everything, getting us ready for the big tournament. Then we'll have the big production every single Saturday. So make sure you're all paying attention to that.
Yeah, I saw, what is it, $500 prize pool every Saturday until a $2,500 USD grand finals, if you would.
Yep. Yeah.
Like big
Essentially,
finale.
it's like the thing is, each event is its own thing. So you can sign up for each event individually, and you don't have to play in every single one, and you could still always play in the next one after that. But of course, it's like the big ones are going to be once a month. We're going to have once a month here. We have it towards the end of October. We're going to have then alternating EU tier 1, then NA, then EU. Then we'll have our big EU and NA on one day, where that $2,500 prize pool for both EU and NA will take place. And then we'll be back to swapping it up. So NA, EU, NA, big tournament.
That's so exciting. God, I love Supervive. I don't know. I'm also just so happy. We talked about it earlier, but seeing how much so many of these players have just seemingly leveled up out of nowhere. I feel like I blinked and all of a sudden people are keeping up with the likes of Aiden, Sprokane, Tom Kick, you know, these legends of the game, Treadsy, Mackie Mac. Everybody is getting just pushed by players who, I'll be honest, I haven't seen these names ever because I've been more or less away for a month. And it's like, I don't know who this person is, but I see the plays they're making. I see the skill shots and I hear the, all right, let's get it.
Oh, Kristen decided to do that to me. So we have our scores. We have them, so we'll go towards the bottom first. Alrighty, so GG's to GG, unfortunately. Only had 3 points, so they will be one of our teams not making it through. Same with MTV, our sub-team of Boo, making it through, well, not making it through, making it into our top 10, but unfortunately, at 17 points, only at 10th place is what they get. And then Hat right above them, it's gonna be 24 points. Rab at 29, but now we find our last team that did not make it in. Drumroll. Now, unfortunately, on a team that will not be joining the finals. Thank you for playing so much, but it is going to be AT. 32 points. Even though they got last place in the final game, had enough points from previous games and previous kills to make it into the finals regardless at 40 points. So they, along with the Shies, Rats, Miss 200, Rue, and Bao, they will all make it into the finals. They will be joined alongside that of WAF, alongside that of Stormbreakers, 3LP, Apex Hunters, Aurora, and Sus. We have our 12 teams for Saturday Night Supervive. So before we go, Twin, would you like to say anything?
Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to use your free Twitch Prime Gaming sub for Mad Magical. Support Supervive, support the content. Thank you, everybody who's helping to keep this game alive. W Supervive, W all of you. I love you all.
W Supervive, W everybody, W you twin. Thank you for hopping in at the last minute to join us as well. Really appreciate that, but we are going to toss over a raid over to someone. Let's see. Who should we give it to? Let's give it over to Thomas Kickington, our sub, who came in for the Shies to help make sure they make it into the finals. It's been a while since we've rated him, so let's give some love that way. All right, everybody. Peace out. I'll see you later for NA. Don't forget that NA is going to be later today, 5 p.m. Pacific, not 4. 4 p.m. Pacific is going to be for the finals tomorrow, but just based off NA schedule, we're going to have it a little bit later. So make sure 5 p.m. We will see you there back on this channel. Until then, go give Tom some love. Peace out.